There's a quiet beauty in the way life moves, in the way we walk across a room, sip our morning coffee or tea, wash a dish, or step out into the sunlight. But so often we rush through these moments, barely noticing them. Our minds are already somewhere else, in the next task, the next thought, the next problem to solve. We forget that life isn't waiting for us somewhere down the road. It's happening right now, in each breath, in each step. Grace in motion begins when we remember this truth that the present moment is not a means to an end, but the sacred space where everything unfolds. Mindfulness isn't about sitting perfectly still or emptying the mind. It's about coming home to ourselves in motion, to live with awareness in the midst of ordinary life. There was a time when I used to think mindfulness meant pausing everything, stopping the noise, retreating from the world. I tried to meditate, to silence my thoughts, and when my mind wandered, I'd feel like I was failing. But one day, while hiking alone after a long emotional week, something shifted. I was exhausted, my heart heavy, and I just needed air. I began to walk without checking my hiking app, and I noticed the sound of leaves brushing in the wind, the rhythm of my steps against the ground, the cool air touching my skin, and suddenly my thoughts softened. The world slowed down. I felt held by something invisible, yet deeply real, a presence that didn't demand anything of me, that simply whispered, "You are here. You are alive. This moment is enough." I felt deeply peaceful and calm, and strangely, also deeply in love. That's when I began to understand what mindfulness really is: a return, again and again, to the heart of the moment. It's not about doing it perfectly, it's about being fully here, wherever you are, however you are. And in this presence, grace naturally arises. The grace to see beauty where we once saw burden. The grace to move with gentleness even in challenge. The grace to remember that every step, no matter how small, carries meaning. When you bring mindfulness into motion, you begin to live differently. You start noticing the way your body carries you through life, not as a machine, but as a vessel of awareness. You notice your breath moving in and out like waves, anchoring you to now. You notice sensations, the warmth of your hands, the ground beneath your feet, the air brushing your face. And in that noticing, you awaken. You start to feel the sacredness in the simplest acts: brushing your teeth, stirring soup, doing laundry. Life becomes a meditation. In every gesture, a prayer. Grace in motion is also about how we move through emotions. So often we want to run from discomfort, to numb it or fix it. But mindfulness invites us to move with our feelings, to let sadness walk beside us, to let joy dance within us, to allow anger to breathe and transform. When we stop resisting and start observing with kindness, emotions flow like water. They pass through us instead of becoming stuck within us. And this is what surrendering truly means. There's a softness that comes when you begin to walk with awareness. You stop pushing so hard. You stop needing to arrive. You realize you've been walking all along toward yourself, and that the journey, not the destination, is the real gift. Grace also shows up when we move with compassion, not just toward others, but towards ourselves. When you catch yourself rushing, judging, or disconnecting, can you pause and simply breathe? Can you whisper to yourself, "It's okay. I'm learning. I'm here now." That's mindfulness too. The practice of returning, not with shame, but with love. Over time, these small returns build a new way of being, one rooted in gentleness and truth. So start trying this today. Take a mindful gap whenever you're transitioning from one thing to another. It doesn't need to be long, even just 30 seconds will do. Before you go to a meeting, before you step out of your car to go to your next errand, before you start writing a new email, pause and return to yourself. One of the most powerful ways to experience grace in motion is through mindful walking. It's simple, but it's sacred. When you walk with awareness, every step becomes a bridge, connecting your body and mind, earth and spirit. You begin to feel the support beneath you, to sense that you are helped, guided, part of something much larger than yourself. You see, mindfulness in motion teaches us to trust life, to move with it instead of against it, to honor the pauses as much as the strides, to recognize that every inhale and exhale carries wisdom. Life is not a race, it's a dance, one where even the stillness is part of the movement. You can also bring this mindfulness into other motions of your day. When you drink water, feel it nourish your body. When you wash your hands, sense the cleansing, not just of your skin, but of your energy. When you speak to someone, listen deeply, not just to their words, but to their heart. That's grace in motion, living with awareness, tenderness, and reverence for each moment as it arrives. This way of being changes everything. It changes the way you handle challenges with more presence, less reactivity. It changes the way you connect with more empathy and understanding. It changes the way you see yourself, not as someone striving to arrive, but as someone already whole, walking gently through the unfolding mystery of life. And perhaps, most beautifully, grace in motion teaches us gratitude, not the kind we force, but the kind that naturally arises when we start seeing life as it is. When you slow down and feel the miracle of each breath, each heartbeat, each sunrise, gratitude blooms without effort. And from gratitude, peace is born. If you've ever felt disconnected from your life, if you've ever felt like you're moving too fast, missing something essential, this is your invitation to come home, to breathe, to walk, to live each step with presence, to let grace meet you in motion. Because mindfulness isn't just something you practice, it's something you live. And when you live it, your life begins to flow with ease. You become more grounded, more centered, more alive. You begin to sense that life is not something happening to you, it's happening through you, as you. Every step becomes sacred, every breath becomes a prayer. So today, as you move through your world, whether you're walking, cooking, driving, or working, turn off your autopilot and let a part of you stay awake. Feel your breath, your body, your surroundings. Let your awareness be soft but steady. Let your heart stay open. This is grace in motion, the art of living fully here, fully now, in each unfolding moment.